1945, Venice, Italy. A trained academic painter begins erasing his own history. He will operate under at least 4 different names. Why he chose obscurity remains unknown. We will return to those names. His true identity raises far more questions than answers. The name Bruno Amadio itself may have been the constructed one. Yet his work achieved remarkable commercial reach. Millions of mass-produced prints flooded the market. The subject was always the same: portraits of weeping children, technically refined, emotionally arresting. For decades, these prints hung silently in ordinary homes, until the autumn of 1985. 1985, Northern England. A bizarre pattern of destruction begins. Council homes are reduced to ash, yet one specific object consistently survives completely untouched. Reports multiply across South Yorkshire. Different homes, different fires, the same result every time. On September 4th, the Sun newspaper prints the story. Public response is immediate and overwhelming. Panicked homeowners burn their own prints across the country. The Sun organizes its own mass event. Officer Alan Wilkinson logs 50 separate cases. But the physical science is absolute. The prints were stamped onto dense board and treated with fire-retardant varnish. In a fire, the wall string melted first. The portrait fell face down, sealing the image from oxygen. Material physics solved the supernatural curse. The painting survived by design, not by sorcery. Removing the supernatural veneer leaves a far deeper historical mystery. To examine these faces, we must return to where the secrecy begins. Bruno Amadio was no amateur, a classically trained painter who studied in pre-war Venice. His early records show technical precision, classical anatomy, controlled perspective, formal discipline. Then, the documentation fractures. Between 1939 and 1945, Italy entered World War II. Verifiable records disappeared. The war ended. The painter reappeared in Venice, under new terms, on his own conditions. Venetian galleries received new canvases. They bore a fresh signature, Giovanni Bragolin. According to regional accounts, the pseudonym had local roots. In Venetian dialect, Bragolin referenced a traditional theatrical character, a teller of tall tales. With a new name came a radical shift. He discarded classical subjects completely and narrowed his entire output to a single image. He began mass-producing one specific motif: children, always tearful, always staring directly forward. Post-war Venice flooded with foreign tourists. Allied soldiers filled the streets. The city traded on wartime trauma. These portraits offered foreign buyers an immediate emotional connection to post-war Europe. Commercial publishers saw the market. They bought reproduction rights and industrialized the image. For 2 decades, printing presses ran continuously. The images became ubiquitous household products across Europe. Millions owned the reproductions, yet the man remained invisible. Why did a classical artist hide behind a theatrical name? To find out, we must track the aliases. The mystery relies on a deliberate illusion. One painter, 4 distinct names, spanning 3 countries. The first name is the most famous, Bragolin, used exclusively for the Italian market. Documented records suggest a second name, Francois Saville, distributed in France. Same hand, deliberately unrecognizable. Next, a third title appeared, J. Bragolin, a minor phonetic adjustment for Spanish-speaking markets. Prints sent to the broader European export trade bore a 4th name, Angelo Franchos, a complete administrative camouflage. For years, collectors assumed these were rival artists, but analysis tells a different story. The brush pressure is identical. The pigments are chemically uniform. The direction matches perfectly. This was no collection of independent painters. It was a single artist. operating a fragmented network. Copyright filings indicate a strategy. By fragmenting his identity, the artist bypassed exclusive publishing contracts. He sold the same images to competing networks. He wasn't dodging a supernatural curse. He was maximizing his royalty payouts. But the aliases hide a darker logistical reality. To understand the children in the portraits, we must trace his footsteps to Madrid. The trail leaves Italy entirely. By 1960, the center of gravity shifted to Madrid. This was no bohemian art movement. It was a cold, corporate enterprise. The painter signed a massive contract. He partnered with major Spanish publishing houses. Madrid provided the infrastructure: high-volume plants, low-cost labor, global shipping routes. The production method transformed. Hand-painted canvases became mass-produced zinc plates. The color layers were mechanically separated. Industrial presses ran day and night. The fine art world never acknowledged them. The mass market made them permanent. Cargo trucks carried the prints across borders. They bypassed high-end galleries entirely. They were sold in hardware stores, Woolworth's bargain bins, suburban flea markets. The model was simple: low unit cost, massive international volume. The scale suggests massive financial return, yet the painter remained entirely anonymous, a ghost in his own machine. But industrialization requires raw material. Where did he find the faces for this lucrative assembly line? The Madrid machinery needed faces, real faces. Bruno Amadio did not paint from imagination. He sourced subjects from local streets. Legends claim the models were war orphans. The story was cultivated. It added emotional weight to a commercial product. Visual analysis suggests a calculated method. He treated these children as studio models. He exaggerated features for commercial impact. Accounts suggest that tears were an industrial trick. He used liquid glycerine. He painted artificial streaks down their cheeks. The sorrow was manufactured. It triggered immediate emotional responses. It was engineered to sell. Rumors circulated about a specific boy, referred to only as Don Bonillo, allegedly cursed, allegedly connected to fires. No records confirm he existed. The paperwork tells a colder truth. The backstories were largely fabrications. They made mass prints feel rare. Amadio worked at a frantic pace. The brushwork suggests he was meeting strict production deadlines. The subjects were anonymous tools, a profitable machine. The children disappeared back into the streets. The painter built a profitable machine, but the scale of distribution created an unforeseen consequence. In 1985, the cheap cardboard prints began to burn. The fire panic faded. The material science explained the survival, but the core anomaly remains. This was not the work of a commercial illustrator. It was the output of a master technician. Bruno Amadio died sometime around 1981. The exact records remain disputed. No interviews have ever surfaced. No public statements. No recorded account exists in his own words. He took the reasons for his self-erasure to the grave. 4 distinct names left an almost impenetrable paper trail. Whether by design or necessity, he left no artistic legacy, only inventory. He left behind millions of physical artifacts, but he deleted his own identity. The curse was myth. The corporate network was fact. But the painter himself remains the ultimate forgery.